Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 74b. We were in the middle of the story, so I'll start in the last line of 74a. It was the Rabbi Yochanan Mishtai, Zimna Chada, Havi, last line or two, actually. Havi Kazlina Besvinta, Chazina Dehi, Kartlita, Tehavi Komabaya, Be Avanim Tovos, Margolios, Vehadrile, Mine de Chabori de Mikri, Karsha Nachis. Yochanan relates, once we were traveling on a ship, and we saw a certain crate in which precious stones and pearls were set, and a species of fish called sharks encircled it. He descended, now on top of 74b, with the words Bar Amorai Le'ase, a diver, Bar Amorai. Went Amorai le'atve u'regash by ben shamte le'atme le'shamte le'atme u'shda zikre dechala leches nafak bat kala amar lan ma yitlechu ba'de kartlita di bat hu de Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa the atida de sharia de chelta balazdike almadati. A diver went into the water to bring up this chest, and the fish became angry and sought to sever his thigh. But the diver threw upon it a flask of vinegar. How do you throw a flask of vinegar in the water? It was above the water? I don't know. Anyway, and they descended and swam away. A divine voice emerged and said to us, "What right do you have to touch the crate of the wife of Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, as she is destined to insert sky blue wool in it to be used in the ritual fringes of the righteous in the world to come?" Okay. Moving right along, Rabbi Yehuda Hindva Mishta'e. Rabbi Yehuda from India relates. Zimna Chada Havezlina Visafinta Vichazinu Evan Tava Davi Hadar Letanina Nachit Paramorae Leatuye Atatanina kabaai lemivla lasvinta asa pishkatsna paskel reshe it hapichu maya vehavodima. Okay. Atatanina chavre shakla vitalia le vechaya. Hadar ata ka ba'e bala lesvita. Hadar ata tzipra paske l'reshe. Shakluha lahi even tava. Shaduya lesvinta. Havihani tzipri melichi behadan. Otvinu alayhu shekluha uparachu la behada. Okay, that was a mouthful. I will give you that, but I'll admit that, but it was a mouthful. But basically, that will allow us to read enough, so you'll have the whole story. Rabbi Yehuda from India relates, once we were traveling in a ship, and we saw a certain precious stone that was encircled by a snake. A diver descended to bring it up, and the snake came and sought to swallow the ship. Okay, a raven came and cut off its head, and the water turned into blood due to the enormousness of the snake. Another snake came and took the precious stone and hung it on the dead snake, and it recovered. It returned and again sought to swallow the ship, And yet again a bird came and cut its head off, took that precious stone and threw it onto the ship. We had with us these salted birds. We placed on the stone on them, and they took the stone and flew away with it. Okay, what is someone supposed to make of this story? Okay, Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Bava. Okay, apropos the stories of large sea creatures, the Gemara discusses the large sea creatures mentioned in the Bible. Maisa Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Yehoshua shahayu ba'im besfino. Pe'ah Rabbi Eliezer Yoshin Rabbi Yehoshua na'oyer. Alright, I think Rabbi Nachman of Breslov mentions this in the Likutei Moharan. Nizdaza Rabbi Yehoshua v'ni'er Rabbi Eliezer. Amar lo, Maze Yehoshua. Maze Yehoshua. Mipnei ma nizdazata. Amar lo, me'or gadol ra'iti bayam. Amar lo, shema einav shel leviatan ra'ita. Tichtiv. Einav ke'af hapay shachal. The sages taught that there was an incident involving Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yehoshua, who were traveling in a ship, and Rabbi Eliezer was sleeping, and Rabbi Yehoshua was awake. Rabbi Yehoshua trembled, and Rabbi Eliezer awoke. Rabbi Eliezer said to him, "What is this, Yehoshua? For what reason did you tremble?" Rabbi Yehoshua said to him, "I saw a great light in the sea." Rabbi Eliezer said to him, "Perhaps you saw the eyes of the Leviathan, as it is written, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning." Job 41:10. Amar Ravashi Amar li Huna bar Natan. Zim nachada have kazdinam b'mibara have atmalis behadan pachna v'nikirna v'anachna asve dim adematinan tzivi chalamatma udv'nigera lamatan esreseri al chishata chazin v'la negamore da have kamesh lachashi ya tayla kamet emar amali Ahu isba samtari hava hanu gumre deritma havo. Okay. Ravashi said, Huna bar Natan said to me, once we were traveling in the desert and we had a thigh of meat with us. We cut open the thigh and tore off the sciatic nerve and the forbidden fat and put it on the grass. By the time we brought the wood, the thigh had repaired itself and we roasted it. Repaired itself? What does that mean? When we returned to that place after 12 months of the year had passed, we saw that those coals were still glowing. When I came before Amemar, he said to me, that grass was a drug of life. Samtri, a drug of life, while those coals were of broom. Okay. Vayivra Elohim et hatininim hagedolim. Hacha targimu arzile diyama. Rabbi Yochanan amar ze leviatan nechash beriach v'leviatan nechash akal laton sheneemar. The verse states, and God created the great sea monsters, Genesis 1:21. Here in Babylonia, they interpreted this as a reference to the sea oryx. Rabbi Yochanan says this is Leviathan, the slant serpent, and Leviathan the torturous serpent. As it is stated, in that day the Lord with his sore and great strong sword will punish Leviathan the slant serpent, and Leviathan the tortuous serpent. Isaiah 27 verse 1. And the simon here is Kol Shah Yarden. The mnemonic is everything, time, and Jordan. Okay, Rav Yehuda says, okay, Amar Rav Yehuda Marav Kol Mash Kol Mash Barak Kadosh Baruch Hu Vaydamoy Zachar Unekeva Baram Af Leviatan Nachash B'Riach Leviatan Nachash Akal Naton Zachar Baram וזכר ונקבה ברם ואילו מלא נזקקים זה לזה מחליב את כל העולם כולו מעשה הקדוש ברוך הוא סירס את הזכר והרג הנקבה ומלאכה לצדיקים להטיל בו שנאמר והריג את התנין אשר בים. Okay, Rabbi Yehuda says that Rav says everything that the Holy One, blessed be He, created in his world, He created male and female, even Leviathan, the slant serpent, and Leviathan, the tortuous serpent. He created male and female. If if they would have coupled and produced offspring, they would have destroyed the entire world. What did the Holy One, blessed be He, do? He castrated the male and killed the female, and salted the female to preserve it for the banquet for the righteous in the future. As it is stated, and he will slay the serpent that is in the sea. Isaiah 27 verse 1. Okay. Be'af behemos behadre elef beharre Elef Zachar Unekeva Baram Filman is cooking Zilzeh Machrivin Kolam Kulam Masagosh Baruch. So he says Hazachar V'Tine Tina Nekeva L'Shamar Tzakim L'Chilo Shinamar Hine Noach Kocho B'Masnav Zeh Zachar V'Ono V'Shirei Bitno Zu Nekeva. He created even the beasts and the 1,000 hills. Psalms 50:10, male and female, and they were so enormous that if they would have coupled and produced offspring, they would have destroyed the entire world. What did the Holy One, blessed be He, do? He castrated the male and cooled the sexual desire of the female, and preserved it for the righteous in the future. And as it is stated about the beasts, lo, now his strength in his loins. Job 40:16. This is referring to the male. The continuation of the verse, and his force is in the stays of his body. This is in the female. This is the female, alluding to the idea that they did not use their genitals for the purpose of procreation. Hasamnami l'sarasei l'zachar u'l'tzaranei l'nekeva dagim pritzi v'labed ibcha ibaisema nekeva malicha mal'e ibaisema kevan diktiv leviatan ze itzart l'sachik bo behadin nekeva lav orach ara hachanami le'melachei nekeva kavore malicha mal'e Bisra Malicha Lo Maleh. The Gemara asks there too, with regard to Leviathan, let him castrate the male and cool the female. Why is it necessary to kill the female? The Gemara answers, fish are unrestrained, and therefore, even if the female was cool, the female would still procreate. The Gemara suggests, and let him do the opposite, kill and preserve the male Leviathan. The Gemara responds, if you wish, say, that the salted female is better, if you wish, say instead that since it is written, there is Leviathan whom you have formed to sport with, Psalms 104:26, the male must be left alive for sport because it's not proper to sport with a female. The Gemara asks here too, with regard to the beast, let him preserve the female in salt instead of cooling it. The Gemara answers, salted fish is good, but salted meat is not good. From Rav Yehuda, Rav Yishah shebikesh shekadosh baruch hu lebrois es oilam amar loi listar shel hayam patach picha ubala kol meimot shebaolam amar lefonav rabbanan shel oilam dai she'emoid b'sheli miyad ba'at bo v'hargo shene'emar b'kocho rega hayam uvetvunato machatz rahav. Rav Yehuda says, the Rav says, at the time when the Holy and Blessed be He sought to create the world, he said to the minister of the sea, open your mouth and swallow all the waters of the world, so that there will be room for land. The minister of the sea said before him, Master of the universe, it is enough that I will stay within my own waters. God immediately struck him and killed him. As it is stated, he stirs up the sea with his power, and by his understanding he smites through Rahab. Job. I think there's a certain planet named after Rahab, Neptune or something. But I'm not sure if it's the same as here. But anyway, Job 26:12. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Shmamina Saro Shel Yam Rahav. Neptune. That must be Neptune. Yes, it's Neptune because Neptune has to do with the water, and that's like the Roman mythology, like the god of the sea, so to speak, the Sar, the Yam. So this is probably Neptune. Rahab is actually another word for Neptune. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Shmamina Saro Shel Yam Rahab Shemo v'ilma l'mayim v'chasinoso ein kol b'ri'eh echol lamad b'reicho shneimar lo yariu v'lo yashchitu b'chol har kodshi k'mayim l'yam mechasim al tikre l'yam mechasim Ela l'sara shel yam mechasim. Rabbi Yitzchak said, conclude from here that the name of the minister of the sea is Rahab, and were it not for waters of the sea that cover him, no creature could withstand his smell, as his corpse emits a terrible stench. As it is stated, they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Isaiah 11:9. Do not read this phrase as cover the sea, rather read it as cover the minister of the sea. In other words, the term sea is referring to the minister of the sea and not the sea itself. Okay? Where are we holding? What are we holding? What are we holding? What are we holding? What are we holding? We might have to do part 2 here. We're almost by 20 minutes. You know what? We'll do part 2. Why not? Okay, cover the ministry. Amar Yehuda, Amar Rav. We'll start from there. That'll be just a real small part of the. Yeah, why not? We'll do that. We try not to get it more than 20 minutes. So we're almost there.